In this video, I'm going to share 8 signs of a twin flame connection. I have a separate video as well that talks about it a little bit differently. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. Hi, my name is Rita Simon and you are watching the series Awaken, where I take mystical concepts and my mystical experiences and translate them with science. So the very first thing is going to be that it's very, very emotional. And look, I'm going to be really honest. If you had many relationships, that's when you can really know if it's very emotional or not. Because if it's your very first relationship, like, what are you comparing it to? You can't really compare it. So when you had a few relationships and you meet a twin flame connection, you will really know, because it's going to be so different, so much more intense, because it really triggers up that emotional attachment part of you. The second one is going to be, it feels like, for me, it was like an energetic bond. So when I met, it was exactly the same with both twin flame connections. I didn't even see the person. There was just this click and our aura synced and it connected. And my nervous system became hypersensitive to this person. And you can feel it really when you are intimate with the person, to be honest. And it feels like your energy adds together and it just increases and increases. So it's such a very different experience. And what I can say with the certainty that this energetic bond feels like an addiction to the person and it never changes. It really feels like a bond that you cannot get out of. And it doesn't matter how much time went past and how much you hate each other, how much you fight, that thing always feels the same until you outgrow it. When you actually go through what the twin flame connection is really supposed to do with you, it's actually self-integration. And when you are self-integrated, that extra energy, that bond is going to be in you. And that's when you are going to feel whole. The third one is going to be your childhood wounds are going to be the same. So this is what you mirror, the deep down part, the body part. This is where the deep emotions are, the impulses are, and the attachment system is. And this is where our childhood wounds are. Because when you were a child, you didn't have an adult brain. You had a childlike brain that didn't have these mental concepts. And whatever your parents did, you didn't understand their intentions completely. And many times our parents abused us because they were just emotionally immature. But this is stored in your body. And this is exactly the same what happened with your twin flame opposite. But what happens is that the trauma is the same, the wound is the same, but you created two opposite coping mechanisms. One of you is going to chase the other one, so it's going to be a more anxious, preoccupied type of person who craves the intensity, and the other version of you, the runner, is going to be someone who detaches from emotions, and when things get too complicated, a lot easier. And it's like you are overcompensating the other in the nervous system, because a healthy an adult who had good parents, so this is not your fault, it's your parents didn't know how to deal with you, how to deal with children. A healthy children is going to be the integration of the two. And when you are integrate these two, you are going to be in the middle and you are going to have a very calm nervous system. And I am saying it from experience. And I was an extremely anxious when I was in the anxious part, and quite avoidant when I was in the avoidant part. So that's why you attract each other and you feel a very deep attraction in the body because your nervous system tries to integrate, and it keeps showing this thing for you that, okay, look, this is something you don't know yet, this is something you don't know yet. And when you know how to look at it, you can start waking up and integrating super fast. If you don't know how to look at it, you will feel that this person is abusive, it's abusive, something is wrong. The fourth one is going to be the intensity. So it's very similar to the emotions, but it's like you feel very intense. So you feel like you have changed, you are a very different person around this one single person. And it's because this person because your nervous system feels the opposites and it triggers out these old wounds. It really brings those old traumas up at once, and they are just boiling and coming up to the surface, and you basically become that little kid you were but now as an adult. So the whole thing is going to manifest in a very different way compared to when you were a little child. And these intensities are in your body. So you can have, like, I had panic attacks. I'm not saying these are good, I'm just saying these are the things I experienced. I had extreme anxiety, so something that is a lot more intense. And also when I was with the person, the whole thing just felt extremely intense compared to any other relationship I ever had in my life. The fifth one is going to be that although there will be a lot of opposites, but also there will be a lot of similarities that you don't really find with other people. So that's something I wouldn't say it's very unique, because you can find very deep similarities with other people as well. But I would say these similarities will come from the same childhood wound, and that's why it's very similar. Like, for example, none of you really likes authority figures because both of you had childhood issues and you don't trust authority. That's actually the parent. Or both of you have trust issues. So generally, this is where the wound comes up. Your negatives and your insecurities are going to be very similar. So if you really pay attention to what are these similarities and where are they coming from, what's the core of it, you will see that your insecurities and weaknesses are going to be the same. The sixth one is going to be that it just feels right. And the reason it feels right, because your nervous system, when you are with this person, can identify that this has happened. So this is actually a way of telling you that you are reliving something that you have lived before. So it can be a little bit misleading because you feel, oh, this is right, this is just so fun, it feels familiar, it feels like home. But in reality, what really happens is that you are reliving the same trauma as a child. And that's like a deja vu for your nervous system, and your nervous system says like, oh, I feel calm, it's the same thing. And the reason I'm saying it can be misleading, because many people believe that, oh, this is where I am supposed to be and it's going to be perfect and loving. If you know what this type of relationship this is, and you know how to integrate, how you look at it, again, it's going to be very beneficial for you to grow, not staying the same. If you want to stay the same, the whole relationship will stay abusive and there will be a lot of things. The problem with these relationships is that people imagine I am perfect and there is this other perfect person for me, and when we meet, we are going to be perfect. Now, this is the delusion in it. I'm really sorry. These relationships help you and teach you evolve and integrate both of you. That's what the relationship is about. The seventh one is going to be the click. I said it in the beginning, but I just wanted to say it again. as a sign that you are going to feel something, a pull, a click, something that is coming very deep down from you. And maybe for you it's going to be different. I don't believe that every single twin flame connection is going to be exactly the same. It's generally there is something very different about it. Like when it first happened, like there was this pull or click, I believed that it was my instinct, that I got connected to my instinct. And I believe actually that's very likely. And in the second one was the same, and I believe, and I even looked it up, that this is how the aura syncs, and it's exactly the same for between the mother and the child, that the mother health aura, the right side of it, that's the emotional part, is actually syncs with the child, and it's the same. And I believe that these concepts are all true, and these all represent these opposites trying to connect and integrate. And the very last one is going to be the ability to change. And I'm saying this because even if you meet your twin flame partner but you don't change at all, doesn't lead you anywhere. A twin flame connection is a soul catalyst, is a soul accelerator. So basically it accelerates your growth, your journey, your integration to become whole with this other person, because this person represents the other version of you that you are supposed to integrate within yourself, not with the person outside, also within yourself. And the other person has to do the same. And that's what is the twin flame reunion. And sometimes you outgrow the other person, and that's when you have to realize that I have to leave. And that's why it's important these relationships show you how to give yourself self-love, because sometimes these relationships, and if you really go into the topic, many times that's what you see, that many times you are not supposed to stay with this person. They put you on the right path, but the relationship won't work out, and you have to be able to recognize that and move on. And that's when you meet with a partner who is emotionally mature. That's what you should look for, emotionally mature partner, and you should be also emotionally mature. And again, I'm going to say, when you are ready to meet the right partner, life is going to give it to you. See you in my next video.